Hi, my name's Angel and this is Angelik Arts. Hey, so I am beyond excited at how today's projects worked out. So I literally start off with this old drawer that really, as you can see, has cobwebs in it. It was just going to be thrown away, but I decided to rescue it. Took it apart. I decided to use this little piece of wood at the bottom. Yeah, I gave it a good clean once I'd got the piece I wanted. Then grabbed my pliers and took apart the frames, wiggling out all the little back things there. This is sped up, but it really was very easy. I then did that to all four of the frames. Decided I pretty much used everything on these frames apart from the glass. So gave everything a nice thick coat of white chalk paint, actually several coats. Once everything was painted and dried, I sort of started lining everything up on my desk, grabbed my glue and glued two of these frames together using a mixture of super glue and hot glue. Stuck one to the other next to it. This is the same one, putting the hot glue on it. Grabbed the second one, stuck them together to make a rectangle, and then put the glue across the top to stick the other two on. Didn't realise until, well, you'll see in a moment, that really I should have glued the other two together before trying to glue them onto here separately. But never mind there, here you go. So I was like, oops, now I need to glue these bits. Sorry, I dropped my camera there. I thought I'd edited it all out, but that bit's alright, isn't it? So just reinforcing the joins with some hot glue because these are only cheap frames from Asda and they aren't all like the same size. Now I'm going to put glue across the bottom of it, again using super glue and hot glue for that immediate and long-term hold. Press it to where I want it onto my piece of wood. And I have created like a little window casement and a windowsill. So then I've got these mini bamboo pots from Asda, and using the same two gel paints that I used at last week's on the pedestal bowl, I decided to start making things a little bit grimier and grubbier and dirtier, but I wanted to use the blue because it would then match the project I did last week. So I sponged it using the same sponge as last week actually onto the side of the pot. Did the other pot, realised I should do the inside of the pot as well, or at least around the rim, so that if it is seen, it all matches. Then did the same to the, I'm going to call it the window, because that's what it is, it's a mini window. Did the same all over that, put the pots on, messed around with some greenery, decided I was happy with that, and went on to the next project, which is... So for this, I took 6 jumbo lolly sticks and the back of 2 of those photo frames, pried off the little standy bits, which I kept for project 3, measured 15 centimetres across, no, 10 centimetres, sorry, used my craft knife and my ruler to score until it was easy enough to just snap. It took a few more than 3 scores, but I didn't think you'd want to watch that forever. Used my brand new mitre shears, this is the first time I've ever used them, to cut the lolly sticks to the same size as the rest, so they're all now 10 centimetres long. Yeah, I got really excited by these, and then there we go, that's all 6 cut. Then I took the back of the second one and I cut it in half, marked the halfway point with my pencil and my ruler, drew a line, did the same thing with the scoring with the knife and cutting it, but just skipped completely. There we are, magic transition, woohoo. Then I sanded off all the ends, took my glue and did the same mixture across the end with the super glue and the dots of hot glue, took a lolly stick and stuck it on at a right angle to the thing, used the other piece that was cut in half to measure it, just poking it round the corner there because it's going to hold up the thing, and put together the base and one side of a little crate. Then I just sort of measured that things would fit the way I thought they would, snipped off a little bit extra where I'd misjudged the measurement on that one, repeated the glue, put the glue on that corner because I wasn't sure which corner it was exactly that was going on there, put on the hot glue, stuck it together in the same way. Yeah, stupid glue strings, they kept annoying me this day. Reinforced the edges with some hot glue. This is all going to be painted, so I wasn't too worried about it being particularly neat. And even if it's not neat, it's supposed to be shabby chic, so it was brilliant. So there we go. I then just repeated that same process, sticking the things on, painted the crate. Once the paint was dry, I took some lemon napkins, which I cut in quarters, then realised because it's got gaps on the side, I'd be able to see it. So I actually only needed to have cut it in half. So it's got lemons on both sides. Then I took some fake lemons that I've got, mini fake lemons, and then some even smaller mini fake lemons. And these little yellow mini lilies. I think they're mini calla lilies. And the sort of greenery that came with it, and just stuck it in here. And I pretty much just sort of played with it until it was how I liked it, and different levels and dimensions. And I decided, because I dirtied up the window frame and I'm going to dirty up the next one, that this one I was going to leave with brighter white, just so that in total the three projects go together, but they've also got a little bit of individuality and dimension and levels. I just popped off these berries from a Christmas pick and stuck two of the branches in the back of the crate, was called that happy. And then on to DIY number 3. This one's super simple, super quick. I grabbed the backs that were the stands of the photo frames, chopped off the metal bits, because I thought they kind of looked a little bit like arrows. It would be cute to make one of those directional signs. When I can remember who it was that I saw do this, I will link them below. I took my stencils because this sign is going to go in my kitchen. Yeah, I did it all out of frame, so I edited that bit out. But basically, I used the same mixture that I'd used to dirty up the window frame to stencil this jug on. Then I'm outlining it with a blue glitter pen. Then I'm doing a rolling pin stencil, and I decided to use a different brush this time and do it in just the blue. So there was a little bit of the brown just on the very edge, but it was still predominantly the blue. Then there's a little spatula. I decided to do it with the brown. Again, a little bit of blue in it, but predominantly the brown. Once they were on there, I went around this one with a gold marker pen, gold metallic marker pen, and the rolling pin with a greeny turquoisey metallic marker pen. And then I was ready to start sticking it all together. It was actually really simple. The longest thing was waiting for the paint to dry, because these little pieces of things. I painted the stick. There's my flower pot that I'm going to use. A ton of hot glue in the bottom, sticking some of this polystyrene in the bottom so that I've got something to wedge thingy in. Pretty much just me. I hate polystyrene, so you guys, I don't even know why I keep using it, but there you go. So I'm topping it up with a whole load of glue, like trying to push my glue stick in faster so that it would come out quicker. And then I'm taking this is Flower Soft, which is a card making scrapbooking thing, and I just sort of all the odd bits that when I've used it, I put in a jar together, and I decided it would make a nice replacement because I don't have any moss to cover up the foam in the planter. And it's got all sorts of colours in there, reds and greens and pinks and purples. Then stuck the little arrows with the stencils, the kitchen utensils on, poked it in the middle there, decided it needed a little bit something else, so popped some greeneries in the edge. Played with them all a little bit off camera, and here you are, the final reveal.